I want to suggest to you that the rod is not appropriate and that it's use of worst discipline ever. But I'm going to tell you about worst discipline. The worst discipline ever would be being sit on and stuff, and that still inflicts pain on a child. But my worst discipline would be for a child to get hit as worst discipline. But I need to tell you that my dad is upstairs and he's not answering my question. So I came in the kitchen to do this video real quick to let you know that I'm not even trying to have something that inflicts pain.
Let me see.
Because I don't want that person to inflict pain. When they inflict pain, I feel like I can still heal myself if they inflict pain. But pain is bad, and so is the rod. The rod on a child is bad, because what does the rod do? The rod inflicts pain, and it hurts. And I have heard of the discipline rod and the discipline of inflicting pain. So I'm here to tell you that that's massive worst punishment ever in life. So I'm not going to call it corporal punishment. I'm going to call it worst punishment. Worst discipline ever. Probably being sat on isn't the good discipline. Is not the good discipline for me. Being sit on is not the good discipline for me. That's how I feel. But being dragged upstairs and having him bend my arms, that's not the good discipline either. Like, should I tell you that I'm getting disciplined extremely worse, and that this is not good discipline, and that discipline is bad? Well, I'm here to think that discipline is bad, because I don't want it. I'm here to think that discipline is bad. I'm here to tell you that discipline may be bad because of the rod. How can I avoid getting hit with that rod? Should I stay out of trouble to avoid the rod? It's like the rod is violent. It's like I don't need a rod. But I may for sure have to be disciplined sometimes if I am doing something wrong. When the father asks me to stop and I don't listen, I get hurt. I need to fix that because I don't want to get hurt. I want to still feel safe while I'm getting disciplined. I want to still feel safe even if I am getting disciplined. And that means to not use a rod. That means to not hit. And that means to stay safe and use kind words. So I'm going to tell you the best way that I may have to be disciplined. He thinks that hurting me is the best way to discipline me. No, it's not. I can be disciplined almost without getting hurt, without getting spanked, and without getting hit with a rod. I can be disciplined without corporal punishment. I can live in a place where corporal punishment does not exist. And I can pretend as if it's not there. I can pretend as if it wasn't there. Corporal punishment is taken seriously by most people, and it's not there. But I don't need corporal punishment to learn, and I don't need a spanking to learn, and I don't need to be sit on to learn, and I don't need to be hit to learn. Hitting is probably bad because it inflicts pain, and it could leave marks. Hitting does leave marks, but I want a better understanding off that rod. The rod is bad, and it inflicts pain.
No, I'm not gonna mess with him.
I learned from my choices without getting hurt. I learn from my decisions without getting hurt. I learn to listen without getting hurt. When is it ever okay to hurt your child to get him to listen? It is never okay. It inflicts pain, and pain is taken very seriously. Discipline is a punishment, but there are different types of punishment, and there are different types of discipline. Corporal punishment. Corporal punishment is hitting. Now the discipline where you take away a toy from your son, you take away their toys, and then discipline where you may have a talk with your son, and discipline where you are not abusive, but you may have to discipline your son, and you can do that by doing it out of love, and you can also discipline them by revoking their privileges or making them sit in timeout or stand in the corner.
Okay.
So all discipline, it's really, 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 really crazy that you have timeouts and there's no other way for him to discipline me. But I did think of something that works. It's called positive discipline. There are no positives to corporal punishment or child abuse. Yes, child abuse hurts. It hurts. Yes, it does. I'm not very brave at accepting getting hurt. But there are some executives to these types of disciplines that discipline should be used correctly out of love, not from violence. Discipline should be also to correct a behavior if a child does something wrong. And discipline is punishment, and discipline is to correct a behavior if a child does something wrong. But you can do it without hurting the child. You can pretty much do it without hurting them.
Oh, that's you? Okay. I gotta wash my hands.
That keeps our life healthy, where we can be disciplined correctly.